All right, stop the hate. Stop the hate.
Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate.
Want equality. When do we want it? Now. What do we want?
Equality.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Equality.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Equality.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Equality.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Equality.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Equality.
And as far as we can see from reading the bill, it is an attempt to legalize discrimination. It's also a very broadly written bill, which I think delves into all kinds of things that, perhaps people don't even realize. For example, a boss could fire a woman for being pregnant, a single woman for being pregnant. I think there are all kinds of other things that can happen in such a broad bill. I have 3 daughters in their 20s. None of them are married at this point. I think about my daughters. If one of them would become pregnant and choose to raise the child, have the child, raise the child, whatever. I mean, just being pregnant could get her fired from a position. I don't think that's good for my daughters. I don't think that's good for the people of Iowa. I don't think that's good for our nation. I mean, this is a hate bill. This is a bill that legitimizes and legalizes discrimination. And we just wanted to call out the congressman on it. I think if you do these things and you aren't called out, you keep on doing them. So we think it's really important to call him out on it.
It seems like some of the criticism of the bill, if that makes sense, is that it doesn't necessarily legalize firing somebody in that situation. It just wouldn't take away a businesses or a corporation or an individual's tax exemptions or federal grants. And, I mean, is there an importance in that distinction though, where it doesn't necessarily make it okay to fire somebody, but it would remove those financial barriers that might be used to compel them to not do it?
In my reading of it, it says that it talks about a for-profit or a not-for-profit. It's allowed to exercise their religious views regarding sexual relations outside of marriage. I mean, this is a very broad bill, and I think it's very dangerous.
Just one more. Is it also telling that there's only, it seems like I think 145 Republicans who have co-sponsored, only one Democrat too. Can a bill like that be successful? Obviously the Affordable Care Act passed with overwhelming Democratic support, but can a bill like this be successful now?
We hope not.
Yeah.
We hope not. And you can tell, we hope not. Thank you. I'm Monica Vernon. I'm thrilled to be here and so excited to see so many of you. We're here today to protest this First Amendment Defense Act, which in our so-called there you go, which is just plain wrong. Its aim appears to be to legalize discrimination, which is just plain wrong. The act also, as you read it, is extremely broad. It's written very broadly. And a huge concern is that under that kind of legislation, a boss could fire a young, pregnant, single woman just for being in that situation. We can't stand for this. It's wrong. It's dead wrong. I think about, of course, I always have to tell my family stories, but I have 3 daughters who are unmarried, who are in their 20s, who are out working. One of them could become pregnant out of marriage and be subject to being fired by a boss who just simply says, this is not my religious belief, that you have sexual relations outside of marriage. This is a very broad, very dangerous bill, and I think when things like this happen, we can ignore them, but if we ignore them, more discrimination happens and our member of Congress doesn't get the message that this is wrong and that we are displeased. So thank you so much for joining me here today to say that, to tell our member of Congress this is not acceptable. We are hugely displeased by his signing on to this wrong-headed act, and that we deserve better representation in the future. Better for all of us here in Cedar Rapids, better for the district, better for Iowa, better for our nation. This is just plain wrong, and we've now sent him a really strong message. Thank you so much.